So glad everyone's here, and thank you for coming and meeting so many of you. I've discovered that some of you have come long distances, traveled many hours, and I really appreciate that. And that tells me something about who you are and what Natalie and Jonathan mean to you. So I thank you for that. Thank you for coming to this place and for joining us for this celebration today. Um, it's the first of our children to be married. And it's an amazing experience. I'd like to know how many other fathers or mothers here have had any of their children marry. So, are we in large company or few company tonight? Okay, I just see a few hands. So, we're experiencing something. We're experiencing this in a way that nobody else is, and it really is something. It's wonderful and it's beautiful. And from us who come from a small family, it's wonderful to have Jonathan now in our family. And now to have all of you on Jonathan's side as part of our extended family. We're very grateful for that. And all of you are lovely, and we've really enjoyed meeting you. So thank you for coming. Thank you for welcoming us and for welcoming Natalie. Um, just just a few words about Natalie and Jonathan I'd like to share. And uh, Natalie, you promised me when you were a little girl that you'd marry me when you grew up. I haven't mentioned it, but I'll let that one go. Um, but I'll say in the end that you got the better guy. Oh. Um, Natalie, it was a beautiful day. And I hope it was all that you wanted it to be. Jonathan, you've got a special girl, as you know. I'll be honest, I wasn't too sure about you for a long time. I'm exaggerating just a bit. But you were kind of scruffy at the beginning. I'd see your face on her phone. It's okay. But Jonathan, we have known you for a long time because you went to high school with Natalie, and I always knew what kind of character you were, and you have always been hardworking. Were always respectful, always uh, demonstrated a good character. So I never worried really. But I exercised a few prerogatives as dad along the way. Um, but Jonathan, welcome to the family, and we hope that we'll all be loving family to you. We as we are to our children, and I want you to know that every doubt. Well, let me back up a little bit. Um, some things are very hard to define in words. Abstract ideas are hard to describe in language. Um, Abstract ideas like joy and peace and even creative works of art are difficult to, how do you translate that into words? And one of those things that I think are difficult uh, to transcribe are true, genuine love. How would you how would you write that out? How would you describe it? And I don't think it's one of those things you can describe, but it's one of those things that which you, when you encounter it, you know you're looking at the real deal. when you really encounter it. And I would also like to say that it's probably one of those very rare things out there, true and genuine love. And Natalie and Jonathan, both of you, as I've witnessed you over these past years, have shown that to one another. And I believe that many other couples would have quit long before you did, with the challenges each of you independently had. You know, Natalie, you've had struggles on your side with your health, and Jonathan dropped out from the sky. And I wondered, especially when the accident happened, I wondered what would this turn into? What would the future hold? It was very unclear. But Natalie, you and he both have found a way, and here we are today. And both of you are marvelous. You're beautiful. I'm just so happy for you both, and we're so glad for you. And we thank God for all that He's done in your lives, and we look forward to seeing what the two of you extraordinary people will do together. We love you.
Thank you, Mr. Gillis. At this time now we'll have a speech from the father of the groom.
I guess I better talk into this. Is that better? Can you hear me? Okay. Good evening, everyone. I'm honored to be here and speak on behalf of our family. By the way, I'm Steve, the father of the groom, and my wife Wendy is sitting right over there in the middle. First of all, I want to thank everyone for coming and celebrating with and supporting Jonathan and Natalie. And if you were by chance at the rehearsal dinner, you are in for a treat, because this is the same speech I gave then. Those of you that know Jonathan are well aware that he is an adventurer at heart and also has a love of the great outdoors. He went on his first hike in a baby backpack at 8 weeks old, and at 3 years old, he was able to hike up to 4 miles on his own 2 little legs. In later years, he hiked Mount Talek, Job's Peak, Mount Whitney, and Half Dome several times. Jonathan, I'm proud of you for so many things, but definitely your can-do attitude, determination, love of outdoor adventuring, and the kindness you show to those you meet along the way. It seems like just yesterday we were taking you home from the hospital as a chubby little newborn. And now you're a grown man and married to that special person that completes you. Natalie, we've been able to get to know you quite well over the last 4 years, and it has been a joy to welcome you into our family and get a taste of what it would have been like to have the daughter we never had. Thank you for your commitment to Jonathan. We love you both very much. I hope it's okay to share just one story that I remember fondly that embodies Jonathan's determination and adventurous spirit that we enjoyed most of the time as he was growing up. In my mind's eye, I can see Jonathan in his late teenage years out in the yard with a snowboard strapped on the side of his 10-speed bike and a bunch of other camping gear. He informed us he was off to a ski resort in Virginia, hundreds of miles away from our home near Chattanooga, Tennessee. I remember thinking maybe he'll make it 50 miles or so and turn around. But day 1 passed, day 2 passed, and he was still going. We prayed a few extra prayers, believe me. On day 3, he finally called it due to bad weather and freezing temperatures that he had endured up to that point but just didn't have the correct gear for. He had made it to the West Virginia border close to 400 miles away. That was one of his first solo adventures I can remember, and it was amazing to me then and still is today. Jonathan, Natalie, knowing that you both are committed to each other for the long haul, and since Wendy and I have been married for over 27 years, I thought I might be able to get away with giving a little advice from our experiences. Just 3 little things I think could be of value. Number 1, being right doesn't matter. Even if you are right or think you are right, I have found that it's better to just keep it to yourself. Number 2, respect each other always. You will have times where it's hard, but strive to make that part of your daily life. And number 3, listen to your spouse. Don't just hear them. That may sound funny, but sometimes you hear people say, "I hear you," but they are not really listening. With that said, I guess I don't have a glass with me, but let us raise our glasses to the happy couple, Jonathan and Natalie. May your marriage be filled with love, laughter, and endless adventure.
I'm going to sit down to do this, but hello, my name is Megan. I'm the maid of honor. I don't know how I made it here, but I did it, and I'm so very thankful, and I'm honored. This woman is amazing, and this couple has really shined a really big light in my life. So just to start off from the beginning, I met this lovely girl in my prerequisite classes. We sat at the same table, and you know how that goes. You usually don't talk to anybody for a little while, or you're just like, show up, don't say anything, and, do what you got to do. And then eventually we started breaking the ice. And then it was like, wham. One time she was just like, "Hey, can you come over to my house and let me feed you?" And I looked at her and I was like, absolutely. I will not turn down any food. Let's do it. And we ended up eating, and I knew from that moment forward she was going to be my best friend. She fed me. My stomach was full, and I was happy. But I'm forever grateful to have you in my life. You're amazing. I'm so happy that you have found each other and that you guys are able to bring so many beautiful people together, not only today, but throughout your entire life. All of these amazing friends that you have up here and the ones that you're going to continue to make, and all these awesome ventures. You can't do that to me right now. You guys are amazing, though, and there's so many amazing things that you're going to do. One of my favorite memories that I have with these awesome ventures is one where I thought I may lose my life for sure, but that's always the start of a good story. So we were actually up in Tahoe, and they decided to take me sailing for the first time. I was a little bit nervous. I was scared, but I completely trusted these two. They know what they're doing, usually. But this was one of those moments where I knew that I found the coolest, craziest, most fun friends in the entire world. But I remember showing up to Cave Rock up here in Tahoe. John was out there getting the sailboat ready, putting all his things together. I'm pretty sure he looked just like Jack Sparrow that day, but blonde. Natalie was over here just gleaming with joy, and she was so excited, and so was I. We had our beautiful friend Emma with us, and we were just ready to get out there and jump on this boat. Before we could even push off the dock, I remember looking around. I'm like, wow, it's a little windy, a little gray out here. But I was like, let's see how it goes. Then by the time we got maybe 50 yards out, I was like, holy moly, what have I got myself into? These waves started just hitting us from the side. They were 3-4 feet high. And in Tahoe, that's pretty big. I know it's not the ocean sailing, but it was scary. And but I just trusted them. I was going with the flow, and I wanted to see what would happen. And next thing we know, John's telling me, hey, you need to get over here and steer this thing. And I was like, wow, he trusts me to do this? Okay. So I grabbed onto that thing, and I started steering us in the right direction. I was trying at least. And there was this moment when one wave hit us. We went up, came down, and then another wave hit us from the side. I remember just looking over at John, and Natalie is basically vertical, and John flies right out of the sailboat. And I was like, oh my goodness, here we go. I have to jump in this ice cold water. I have to save this guy. Luckily, he just floats. I don't know how. He popped up. We got him back on the boat, and I was just absolutely amazed. And I was like, this is awesome. I would not rather be anywhere else besides right here, right now. So anyway, we were attempting to make it to Emerald Bay. Did we make it there that day? No. This woman is very ambitious, and that's what I love about her so much. She had to go to work. So I remember we started going, smooth waters finally came our way, and we made it, got Natalie off to work. But after that, I was just in awe of these two. You know, what we can make happen was just amazing. But it was great. Natalie, you are one of the most kind, caring-hearted person I've ever met in my entire life. I swear. Thank you for being a solid rock in my life. Thank you for getting... I'm sorry. I was trying not to do this. Thank you for getting me through some of the hardest days of my life. Nursing school was terrible. We did it, though. We graduated. You helped me through a lot throughout those 2 years. Those terrible classes and those terrible orientations that we had to do, but I would not have asked for anybody else to do it with. You made every day bright and lovely. Most mornings. You two are absolutely perfect for each other. You complement each other perfectly, and you complete each other in so many different ways that I think you guys will continue to see throughout the rest of your lives. John, while you're out there venturing those wild mountains, Natalie, you know, is that perfect person that's going to be holding down base camp with Doggo, and I'll be there with her too. You guys have so many amazing stories together, and I cannot see what you guys continue to write throughout the rest of your lives. I wanted to say congratulations to you both. This is a beautiful season of your lives. I want you guys to take in every breath, moment, just bask in everything that's happening right now for you. Enjoy it all, because it's going to go by fast. But I love you guys so, so much. And thank you. It's been an honor. And I cannot wait to see what the future holds for us. So let's raise our glass another time to these beautiful people. Cheers to you guys, and let's do this thing. I love you.
All right. I just wanted to start out by saying hello and welcome to everyone. I know that John and Natalie are so happy you could all be here. Big thank you to all the friends and family that helped put this thing together. As a lot of you know, I'm Jason, Jonathan's younger brother. Originally, my older brother Josh was going to be the best man, and I know he wanted more than anything to be here today. Just one second. I know he wanted to be here more than anything today for John and Natalie's big day. But due to his service in the Air Force as a PJ, he wasn't able to be here. But I know he wanted you guys to know how happy he is for you both. um, Natalie, you've always supported Jonathan, and you guys always match each other's energy. My highlight of the year is getting to come out here and snowboard with you guys. I'm really happy that you found each other, and I hope you two have many awesome years together. We love you, and welcome to the family. As I mentioned earlier, Jonathan has always been there since the beginning. Growing up, I was his partner in crime. We always banded. Just one second, I keep losing my place. We always banded together and try and convince Josh to join on our adventures. And he always came, not always because he wanted to, but mainly just to make sure we were safe and we didn't go off the rails. Whenever I needed someone to talk to, just about life or future plans, you were always the guy I talked to. In 2020, when I heard over the phone about his accident, falling out of the sky, that was one of the worst days of my life. I'm so glad that he's invincible and nothing can stop him. I know we're going to have a lot of adventures ahead, more mountains to climb and countries to visit. I want to tell like one quick story about one of our adventures that kind of encapsulates everything. This last winter, me and John made our second attempt to summit Half Dome. The first time we'd made it halfway up the dome, but without crampons or rope, we had to turn back. Yeah, it was in the winter. This time we came better prepared. We started the approach at 4 a.m. At first, things were easy. We made it to the falls just as the sun rose. And about an hour later, we made it to the sign that marked 2 miles to the dome, which seemed really close. Those 2 miles took us over 6 hours. The snow was up to our chest in some areas, but John always kept things positive, never letting me bring down the mood. By the time we reached the base of the dome, it was getting dark. Jonathan tried his best to find a route, but there was too much ice, and he called it off because I was getting cold. And we knew we had to hike several miles back the way we came to get out of the wind to sleep. On the hike back, I was struggling with the cold, and my socks froze, and the concept of warmth was utterly gone. But Jonathan kept me going, always keeping pace, keeping me moving. We made it down all right the next day, but this is just one example of many. John has always been there. He always motivates me to keep going no matter what. He's an overcomer, and I just want to say one year we're going to climb Half Dome and actually make it in the winter. Thank you, John, for always being there and for teaching me so much. I'm so glad I have you and Josh as older brothers. I don't know what I'd do without you guys to keep me straight. I love you, bro. All right, so let's toast again to the new couple, and may they have many happy years ahead.
Good evening, friends and family. I just wanted to say real quick, you might have noticed I'm walking around with sticks a little bit, but I'm actually pretty okay. That's not from the accident before, the falling from the sky. That's a more recent just breaking the ankle. So that being said, Natalie and I are so happy that all of you guys could be here. A lot of you guys I haven't seen in years, and some of you guys I don't think I've ever met before. But we are both so happy that both our families are joining together today, and that you all could be here to celebrate that with us. you all know Natalie. She's my wife of many minutes now, and she is the love of my life. Back in 2019, I went to graduation at OHA, and I was staying at her place with a bunch of other guys, and she, I guess, decided she liked me, and she took me out on the four-wheeler and tried to throw me off the back, basically, by jumping it repeatedly. She also proved that she was better at shooting a shotgun. And but anyways, it worked clearly because we're sitting here today. And since then, we have made so many more happy memories together. Again, more half-dome memories. I went with Natalie again in winter. A different winter. I've been there 3 times in winter and never summited. But we went there and we got to the saddle part. The sun was setting and she was very cold. And so I put every layer that I had on her, and she looked like a very cute version of the Michelin Man. And we we ran down the mountain to the safety of the car. And there have been so many more memories since then. And I just love you so much. Sometimes I can be a little over-adventurous, and Natalie keeps me in check, and I am very grateful for that. And let me keep on track here. So many of you have played a big part in my life, friends from school, family, and especially the bridal party here. And my groomsmen here kind of show different phases of my life. My brother, and then when I was living in the van and school, and then Natalie's brother. And you guys have all helped me and changed me and for the better. And I'm very thankful for that. I would like to recognize the love and support that the Gillis family has shown me with my relationship with Natalie. And thank you so much for your support and everything. I'll take very good care of her. And I'd also like to thank my parents for raising me from the ground up. And you guys are amazing. Grandparents, uncles, aunts. We're all a family, and now we're twice as big. So I'd like to make one last toast. A toast to the union of our families, and a toast to love and happiness, and most of all, my wife, Natalie.
So I just really want to quickly say a thank you to you all for coming, to my wonderful parents, and then my new parents, my new in-laws, for giving me the best day of our lives. And I'm so happy to get to know you all and spend more time with you all.